Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is OG, and today we are finally gonna be getting some pro gameplay. And it's just been a while. Like the competitive scene's been really slow for probably like the past month and a half. There was NA Open last week, but I didn't really want to record those games just because of a certain someone. But anyways, we actually were privileged enough to play in Gamely's Open. So this is the second tournament they've done. Their streaming app, pretty cool. It's mobile gaming only, and luckily they've taken an interest to Brawl Stars, and this is the second tournament that they've done. So our games today are going to be against second best, Crying Man, and Jack Chepo. So all really good players. But I think it's quarterfinals, or yeah, it's quarterfinals. So we're gonna hop into that right now. First off, we're starting with Siege. All right, guys. So the bans for this entire match against these guys is Piper and Jean. Now we banned Jean, they banned Piper because I'm a good Piper and Jack's a good Jean. So you can see we did end up going with the Brock pick, and they're gonna manage to get a lot of mid control early on. So they are gonna get all the bolts pretty much, and Bobby does get taken out. Tyrant's doing a really good job. He does take out both of them, but they already secured every single bolt. So they have a huge robot. Well, not huge, it's level 4, but for level 1, that's a pretty hefty robot. And this was the first game, so there was like a little bit of rust. Bobby needs to stay on the robot here. That's like the whole point of Bull. And you'll see that we're not doing something that they do really well later on in the series, which I'll point out. It's just catching the robot earlier. So their robot pretty much had a pre path to the safe, and we get one push. So that game was just terrible. And we do get them back with a similar game like that in Bounty later on. But that game was just awful, and we started off this series on such a bad foot. All right, so for the series, it's the same map, best of 3, but best of 5 overall. So we are just back on Junk Park, and this time we went for Spike, and they actually went with a Spike mid too. Now it's good considering the bans, and just because the lanes kind of, Tyrant did a good job, but the lanes just got all their bolts really early on, and they just kind of bodied their way through. So I wanted to help out the lanes more, instead of just focusing on that safe damage like a Brock would. So you can see early on we actually do a really good job securing the bolts, and we are going to get the first robot, but look how early they catch on to the robot. So I see they're trying to do that, but Crying just kind of suicides, and the robot's already at 70%, and he's spawning in up here with his shield. Now before the robot even gets in, they get it under 60%, which is really good. And we wouldn't have touched the safe if I didn't get 2 spike shots, but those spike shots, 9%, right? It's nothing huge. So now we gotta focus on mid control, and just I'm our main damage besides Bobby diving in. So we really need to support the robots on our pushes, but we do have really good defense too. These comps are just great on defense. Bobby tries going in for that bolt there, but unfortunately misses. Now I do get Crying Man to use a super, which is pretty useful, and he does break a bit of his wall, which helps out too. But that super would have been really useful on offense, just getting onto the safe and getting that extra damage, and even tank a bit for the robot. Unfortunately, Tyrant does get taken out. Crying was one shot. I'm keeping him low though, and we are doing a pretty decent job on defense. So Tyrant's gonna knock that back, and they can't really support it. So you can see they just want to go for the third and final robot and get the win that way. I kind of picked up on that, so I left the robot for Bobby to deal with. And we do such a good job here just cleaning up and getting that mid control. Considering that they had the complete positioning, we just overran that. I don't even think they got a bolt off of it. We took that mid control so fast. So I'm definitely happy with how we played this game compared to last game. But I guess anything would be an improvement from last game. So we are going to have a pretty hefty robot coming in, but you did see their first defense, so who knows what could happen. Obviously with the level 10 robot, it's going to be harder to defend, but this comp is just so good for defense. And it is lacking a little bit on offense for my taste, but you can see already they get it to 70% before it goes in. But Bobby has his dash, and Crying's doing his dash on the other side, but with Crying abandoning it, then we can kind of just finish here. So they do get pretty decent damage, but we do end up winning. Alright guys, so this is the third and final game for Siege. Now we stuck with the same exact comp, except they went with the Poco this time. Poco is pretty versatile too. He can heal the Bull or the BB when they're doing defense or offense, so he's a niche kind of pick. But I really do like the Spike matchup, and I don't think I'm losing this matchup very much this game. It's definitely in my favor though, to be fair to Jack. And you can just see like off the start, we're doing a really good job. And I like Spike because I can like help out my lanes too. And we do have like kind of mid control here. And, you know, it's tough because they're going to get a pretty decent amount of bolts too. And we're going to have to fully commit to a push. But so far so good. I mean, luckily for Jack, he does get his super there, but Tyrant's doing a really good job on his end of things, and you know, they just managed to take it out. But look at that bubble just going cross map, taking out Crying Man. So really nice bubble from Tyrant. I'm sure he didn't mean it, but you love to see those bubbles. And they're actually going to come really close to tying it up right now, but we are going to kind of press them out of mid. That's like the pushing power of Spike. So I got to respect Chepo's super right now because he could have used that on me and I would have been like one shot. But you can see the bolts are really close. So I think the ideal thing would be to go for a tie here. But obviously you don't want to give up bolts too. So it's like a weird situation. So we got a 10 siege robot. They have a 9 bolts getting ready for the next one. So if we get every single bolt, I think we can tie it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But you can just see they're like doing a really good job stopping it before it gets in again. And, you know, we kind of have a miscommunication here. I'm saying, yo, let's just hold. And, you know, because from that point, just with our HP bars, it's kind of like obvious that we're not going to do anything. Bobby wanted to go for it. He's like, this is our only chance. But I think we could have held and maybe like tried getting a good defense like they did. But there's just, this comp is just so good on defense that they have. Same with ours. That's why I think we should have held. But that was just an awful push. We couldn't support it properly. And, you know, they can kind of tell that they're going to win here unless we get like a phenomenal defense. And, you know, 12 robot is pretty intimidating. But we do have Bobby who can go in on safe and get some damage. And he does do that here. And I think he does like 30% or something. And then he'll spawn in for the robot. So we do have that knockback and Spike super. So look, it's already at like 60-50%. And that's without our bull back here. So I really think we should have held there. But I understand why Bobby wanted to go all out. And, you know, they don't one push by any means. But if we had our bull back there and coordinated a little better, maybe we could have held. But they do take the first set in Siege. Alright guys, so next up is the heist matchup, and the funny thing about this is we played them in NA Open, but Slash was playing instead of Second Best. Second Best is definitely a stronger player than Slash. Second Best is probably one of the best players in the game right now, and it was the exact same maps. So literally like in the same order, the same maps, and I really detest that first Siege map. I like Safe Zone, but Snake Prairie and that first Siege map are just so toxic. So you can see we're doing a pretty good job poking. Crying does get 2 shots on me. Nice shots from him. Now, something that you got to be wary of if you're the Daryl, you don't want to give up too much damage because odds are you can't do anything. You're not going to poke these guys back. So Iron's going to go in on safe, and you know, Second's going to be in on our safe. And we'll just kind of like trade damage. So Jesse's really good at holding control on this map, and Bobby's doing a pretty good job on taking Jack out. I got to help him with that last shot, but you know, that's what Brock's there for. So I'm going to look to be really aggro here, and I'll try juking Crying Man a little bit to make him like waste his shots. And we got the position right here. They're on defense. You never want to be on defense with this comp. Obviously you have to be, but you always want to be in the driver's seat, just kind of like pushing it. So we're doing a really good job just kind of hanging out and chipping down the safe. And at this point I kind of got to accept my death, so I want to bait Second into using his super, and that way I don't just give it up for free, and he can't just like go aggro on the safe. So we're all playing pretty decent right now. We do have a small lead, but Tyrant's on their safe right now, so me and Bobby actually do a really nice defense here. That turret was a little panicky, but we do clean up. Then I do use my I don't know how that like super didn't connect with him, but Bobby moves up, which is definitely the right play there, and Tyrant's just been going ham on their safe the entire time. We do manage to get the first win in heist. Alright guys, so game number 2, and you will see that Second is on Brock. That's because Brock typically plays a harder role than Daryl, and Second's, like I said earlier, one of the best players in the game, so that makes sense that they put him on like the carry role kind of. But right off the bat, you can see I think Daryl should just hang back a little bit so they don't soak up too much damage. It's good if you're baiting out shots, but when you start getting hit, like Tyrant's getting hit a lot there. He almost goes down actually, and that's just kind of feeding free supers. And you can see Crying, like he's getting hit a bit too, but he's playing like a little more passive. And one thing I noticed is that Jack always goes for mid while Bobby kind of hangs back. I think it's good to have mid control when the Daryls get their super, but we're doing a really good job on defense, and Tyrant's just kind of hanging out, and I want to get as much damage as I can off on safe. I do get pinched here unfortunately, but we did manage to take the Daryl out, so it's not like anyone's really going on our safe right now. and Jack's just going to use those bounce shots on the Jesse turret, and it's pretty much even right now, so they do kind of have positioning on us, I guess, but I mean, as long as Tyrant can get his super and just roll on like their squishies, like that can go away in an instant. So Bobby's doing a really nice turret placement there, and while he's taking care of that, I want to focus on their Brock and their Jesse, so they can't just like collapse on the safe. But Crying does sneak around, and you know, things are getting a little like hectic back here, but Tyrant is on the other end, just on the other end, doing damage to their safe too. So their safe's at 45%, we're at 26. Tyrant's still alive, but they're definitely in the driver's seat right now. Bobby's gonna get some bounce shots off on the safe. I gotta go around and auto aim second best. And it's not looking too good right now, just because 12%, that can go away in an instant. But Bobby's doing a really good job on defense here, and he does use a really smart bounce shot there to take out the Daryl. But we are, like, Tyrant rolls in an 11% to 9%. This game's so close. We've just been trading back and forth, and 6% though. Brock super, Daryl super. Fortunately, that's GG, but you know, another really close game. Alright guys, so this is the third and final heist game. Now obviously it's 1-1 right now. Both games have been really close, just by a few percent every time, and you can see Tyrant's kind of like hanging back a little more because he was getting tapped a little too much at the beginning of last game. Crying's doing a good job just hanging back too. When you put yourself up there, you can kind of get pinched really easily, so he's got to be careful when he's like just hanging out up there. But they're definitely getting close to their supers right now, and then they can actually start doing something. But until Daryl gets his super, he's kind of useless. So he backs up a little bit, just respects the Brock shots, and you know, Second's doing a good job hitting his shots right now. Second is one shot, so I think he should have rolled in there and like just taken out the Jesse, and hopefully Second as well. But he gives them time to regen, and you like to be the aggressor on this map, I find. So Crying is going to be the one to roll in first, and he sees me weak and does take me out, so I think Tyrant should have done that there. But Bobby's going to do a decent job on defense here, and you know, this is why you want to be the aggressor, because then they can just collapse on your safe, and that's already 20% like that, and they're all pretty much still alive at this point, so you gotta like just kind of regroup and get some offense going. So Tyrant's just going to go straight for the safe. I think, yeah, okay, so Tyrant's just going for safe, and then they have a pretty hefty lead so far. So we decided to just like leave the Jessie because she can't do too much without her turret, and we know Tyrant's gonna die soon and he's gonna spawn in, so we gotta like start catching up, just cutting this lead down a little bit. So we're just going for straight safe damage right now. Tyrant's gonna roll in again, and you know, Jack does pick up his turret here, so it's gonna be really tough, but we're doing really good damage too. So right here you can see if the turret didn't lock off of Crying Man, we would have won the game. 100% we would have won the game if it just like locked on Crying Man and killed him, and then it would have done like 14% like that already. And it's just tough. It's like little micro plays like that make you lose games, and you know, they are going to finish it. Valiant effort from Tyrant, but if that turret did not lock off of Crying Man, like he was 100 HP, we would have won that game. So a really tough loss again. Both sets have been super close so far. You hate to see it. Alright guys, so if we lose this, we are eliminated from the tournament. And you can see we have mirror comps. Obviously you want a bow on this map, but they are not using the bow vision. We're using bow vision. They're using the new mines. Both are really good star powers on this map. So they do manage to body us and get the first star. There were some miscommunications at first, just with who goes to what side. So, you know, we kind of gave up the first star because of that. But we do manage to figure that out going forward. So we kind of know where they are, so I'm gonna like work my way around a little bit and just look for like a cheeky kill. Now the band-aids are probably like getting up around this time, so we do got to be cautious about that. And you can see I'm getting really good shots, and Jack's actually one shot, and that lets them kind of just like pinch into Bob, and Bob gets two really good shots and gets a super off, and like we get the lead just because of that. So now we just need to play like more defensively, just kind of watch our sides. I do want to like build up and get my super, because that kind of like eliminates one side. So I do manage to pick it up there, and now we can just kind of focus on the left side of the map and just move as a unit, which you always need to do here pretty much. Just block off one side or break it. Like, I don't think Crying Man should have broke it there, because that's going to make them a lot tougher to move up. And those mines will come back to haunt me. Just watch those mines. So we do a good job clearing them right now, but just watch that one other mine. I know it's there and I want to take it out. So you can see me going for the mine, and I just overstay my welcome by like a fraction, and they get the lead from that. So pretty unlucky. I swear, like I triggered it and got out. I don't know how that happened. It's just dumb plays like that. But they're definitely all kind of grouping up to one side, so we can 100% still win this. We have them all corner, which is exactly like I'd rather be in our position right now than theirs, just like how it's set up, and we all have supers pretty much. So Tyrant gets a really good super, and we actually do manage to take them all out pretty much, but Tyrant just gets caught out a little bit, and I missed that shot on Crying Man, and that would have killed him, and we would have won that game. It's just so tough. I think we should have gone for the full team wipe there, just because we had them all in the corner. We kind of backed off, and it was just little miscommunication again, and you know, it costed us the game. Alright guys, so if we lose this game, we are eliminated from the tournament, and we went with the same comp. We just, honestly, if we had that like first star, we would have won last game. So we're like, yo, we need to get that star, just be really aggro on it, and you can see like it's paying off already. Bob hits 2 good shots on there to finish him off, and Tyrant does pick up the star just because they're all like scattered right now, and they're kind of freaking out, I bet. But I do have my vision, so Second didn't see me there. It looked like it just like walked up and didn't do it. So I make him pop his band-aid, which is really good, and he does have supers, so I know he's there. He can't see me right now. So he's actually getting really adventurous in our side, especially without band-aid, and we do make him punish for that. His teammates have to kind of follow him because he's just suiciding, and you know, we do get a really like solid early lead. So I have like 5 stars on me already, so I need to be careful. That right side's kind of blocked off, so we just kind of got to watch the left side, but they can still sneak in from that 1 point, so I'm just kind of checking it passively. And Second is going to trigger my mine there, so I'm getting close to my second set of mines already, and Bobby's going to do a really good job just kind of breaking that wall. Ideally you want more of the grass, but he does pick up a good kill there, so it's definitely worth it. It was definitely the right play, but if you can, you want to get that grass too. So the Shellys exchange supers and band-aid, and they are going to get some really aggro mines, which really good placement. It just limits where we can hide, and it kind of like divides us up, so that's actually going to get them a kill on Tyrant here. And Second trips another one of my mines, and it's kind of weak, but you know, we still have a pretty solid lead, and this is the thing that like happened to them at the end of last game. They're just cornering us. Now if we can't get any kills here, we're done. Like, this game's pretty much over, and they're gonna do a really good job just taking us out. So I'm just managing to stay alive, like trying to juke as good as I can, and luckily my teammates spawn in and they're able to clean up a little bit. They overstayed their welcome. Now they did need to kill me there, and they would have had the lead, like pretty healthy lead. So even if they kill me right now, they can tie it, but no, Bobby's gonna spawn in, and I don't know about that super, but I do manage to hit the mines and just get stunned, so that was a little scary, but we do get a pretty convincing win in the end, 19-10. Alright guys, so this is going to be the final game for Snake Prairie. Now if we lose this, we are obviously eliminated from the tournament. So you'll see same comps. We were thinking about trying something else, but we didn't end up doing it. And we want to play really aggro for that first star. So Second actually just goes short and doesn't pick it up. Now Tyrant does a really good job in timing when to go, and you know, he barely gets hit. And we do have an early lead, which is something you always want. So now it's just up to me and Bobby to build up our supers and just kind of break the walls. So I do make Second pop his band-aid. I get my super from that, but I play my mines like a little too defensively. I think that's just inviting them to kind of like push up on us. But ideally I do want to play it on the other side. Oh, my camera froze for a sec, sorry about that guys. But you do want to play it on the other side of that wall pretty much, and Bobby's gonna super there too. Now that side of the map's like completely done, so we just have to focus on mid and the left side. So Bobby's doing a good job just chipping shots and just kind of like getting in a flanking position. And Crying Man's gonna be really weak. Tyrant's gonna get pinched here, but he did that band-aid, and if Second committed there, we would have killed him. So good call from him to pinch back or move back. But we are getting like spawn trapped now, and we're all like kind of weak. And this is what you really do not want to happen here. So I know there's mines there, so I'm gonna take them out this time. And they get a lucky, like, it's a good super obviously, but it hit him 3 times with 3 rockets, and it's just unfortunate. So Second does trigger my mines there and pops the band-aid. Now they're just gonna like hang back, and this is why this map's so toxic. Like, no other map, this is the worst map in the game. And I'm not just saying that because we lose. I hate this map with a passion. But you know, it's still not over yet, and I do have my mines, so I trigger 1 mine here, or Tyrant does, and then I kind of think they're more to the right, not the middle, and I just walk on it, get stunned, and it's unfortunate. Bobby does get a kill, but Tyrant died on the other end of things, so we would have tied, but me and Tyrant went down. So, I really don't think we deserve to get swept in that matchup. Every single game was close besides like 2. And it sucks because I hate these maps, and they're banning like Piper, which is who I've been training on a lot lately. But I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff's going on right now. And I think part of it's like all mental. Just joining a new org, there's a lot of pressure and everything else. But we're also like starting to play with Tyrant too, who we've never played with before. So it's just building up chemistry, and in the long run, I'm not too worried about everything. I know we'll be fine. I'm confident in my teammates' abilities. It's just figuring our stuff out for now, and just playing to our full capabilities, and just not losing. Anyways, we got like a small tourney today, so hopefully we can come back in that and just get some momentum going forward. But NA Open next week, so we'll definitely be training hard for that when I'm not playing Classic World of Warcraft. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.